I will read to you a statement from me in my capacity as Chairperson of Council, and I am Archbishop Njongonkulu Ndungane, retired Anglican Bishop of Cape Town. The University of Cape Town Council, which has just finished, has voted in favor of removing the Cecil John Rhodes Statue from UCT's upper campus at a special meeting that has just concluded. This follows a month-long series of protests by UCT students which foregrounded the debate around statues, symbols, and the impact these have on the climate of inclusiveness on the UCT campus. Although the Vice-Chancellor had announced a program to review symbols and names in October last year, the depth and breadth of feelings on the issue unleashed by the student protest challenged us to accelerate the consideration of the Rhodes Statue in particular. The process has been orderly and deliberative, canvassing the views of students, Senate, academic and past staff, convocation, alumni, and the public. It has certainly been enriched by hundreds of articles in the newspapers, discussions on radio and television, and on social media. We have noted the extent of the support amongst all the groupings for removing the statue. This process has been vindicated by the number of people who have come into the debates opposed to removing the statue, and who have changed their minds as a result of the frank engagement. This is exactly how a university should work, and we believe is an example to the country in dealing with heritage issues. The Upper Campus Precinct is a declared provincial heritage site and is thus subject to heritage legislation. UCT will immediately submit an application to Heritage Western Cape to have the statue removed. However, in view of the Council decision, we have concern about the safety of the statue and believe that the only way to protect it while Heritage Western Cape is considering our application will be to temporarily remove it for safekeeping. The university has obtained a permit for temporary removal for safekeeping and will remove the statue as soon as it is possible. The university will now continue with the planned review of other symbols and names over the remainder of this year. Furthermore, the student engagement on this issue has added an energy and urgency to addressing many other aspects of transformation, and has mobilized members of the university community not previously seized with the issue. The university management will partner with the students, different staff structures, and the UCT community to review and refocus our transformation plans. And we believe that it's going to be an inclusive process which will have a buy-in of all the stakeholders. And we trust that together we will move ahead to make this university a great university into the future. I thank you very much.
Today is a really important day. UCT is an old institution. It has seen much change over the years. Sometimes it has been at the forefront of that change. At other times it has resisted change with all its might. 21 years into our country's democracy and 186 years into the university's existence, we feel that we are again at another turning point in the university's history. Today is 1 month, almost to the day, since students started publicly protesting against and for the removal of the statue of Cecil John Rhodes on our upper campus. Some might look at the events of the past month and think that it has been a time of crisis at the University of Cape Town. I can tell you that it looks very different from where I've stood and where the management of the university has stood. It's a position that sometimes feels like the eye of a storm. What might look like chaos and confusion has the makings of something much more profound and transformative. And one has to keep that in view, because this is not just about the statue. What we've seen is a student body that is incredibly committed to changing not just the university, but the very structures of our society that keeps inequality, those structures that keep inequality entrenched. We have students and a significant number of staff members who have joined in with these protests, who aren't content with ready-made answers, but want to head out in search of better questions and better answers. We've seen staff actively engaged with the public, through the media, with the students, and with each other, wrestling about what this current moment in history means for us and how best to respond. We've had venues that have been packed with people who care about this campus community, care about its future and their place in that future. They have disagreed vigorously. They have different views on how to get there, but I think that they share an ideal of a campus that is inclusive and that is a leading campus. It's been the most engaged and passionate university community that I've seen in a long time, and that's something to celebrate too. This is what a university is and what it should be about. We argue, we fight, and yet it is a fight without violence, at least on this campus it is. We have deeply uncomfortable conversations, we express emotions and reason, we talk and we listen, and through debate we have been exposed to a diversity of thought and diversity of reactions to what it feels like to be at UCT and to the statue and what it represents. We retain the right to change our minds, and we do. And one of the hallmarks of this debate in the last month has been the number of people who started off in a position that was strongly opposed to moving the statue at all, and who, as a result of the debates in many fora, and including in Senate, in the convocation meeting, have shifted in the face of those arguments and reasons. And for this we really should be really grateful that the fora and the space exists to have those debates, and that people have approached those debates with open minds and open to changing their minds. We've witnessed in the last month the makings of what UCT can be. And a university is generally focused on the future. Most of the time we are inventing new technologies, new science, educating a new generation of students who will become the leaders of the future. We advance the frontiers of knowledge. We educate, and we are educated by the next generation. And the same may be said of the transformation project. It is absolutely critically informed by the past, but the focus is on shaping the future, and the future is made by the kinds of decisions we make today and will continue to make. So as I said, this is an incredibly important moment for the university and in the university's history. You might think it's an important moment because it's the moment that the Cecil John Rhodes statue after somewhat 80 years or so has been, we are proposing that it be taken down, although as you know, this has to be processed and approved by Western Cape Heritage. But it's a decision that we've made, and so it's important for that reason. But it's more important for what it says about the future. It will be remembered for what comes in its place. Probably not a statue, but an acceleration, a renewed commitment to transformation, to making the campus inclusive, and to addressing the many issues which face not just the campus but the country in higher education.
Thank you very much. From us as students, we welcome the decision that has been taken by council. And from our side, this is only a first step. We have mentioned that the issue at hand is about transformation, and as students, there's still a long road that we still have to walk, because still UCT has not, still not yet transformed, and we have not yet gotten the opportunity to table. We've tabled those sort of discussion points, but then council has not yet deliberated on them. And one decision that came out was that council will be meeting as soon as possible to really now be talking about issues of transformation. Because for us, it's not only about the statue in itself, it's also about sort of institutional symbolism, curriculum reform, speaks about staff transformation, as the SRC, we care very much about who's teaching, what are they teaching, and who's being taught. And we also care about the issues that concern our source workers, especially having said or having spoken to them, and they raise a number of concerns with us in saying that they are feeling marginalized within the institution. Also looking at issues of access and success for disabled students. For a very long time, the disability unit has been sort of sharing views that it can be at level 4 of Steve Biko because that's not accessible when the electricity has gone out. So those are some of the issues of transformation that as an SRC and as students will definitely be dealing with and advocating for. But we're very much happy that Council has listened to the students. And it has been the 3rd week now that students have been sleeping on the floor of the Azania House, advocating for change and really saying that the institution needs to change. That as black students, they need to feel and be recognized by the institutional symbolism, by the institutional climate. And we see this as the first step to a very long road, a very hard road. I mean, we are living in trying times. But I think today signifies a turning point within this institution in how we engage about issues of transformation and the pace in which we move about transformation. And lastly, from my side, the statue will be removed tomorrow at 5. It will be a momentous occasion. The students, the staff, everybody who really has been involved in this particular event or a particular sort of pursuit of really bringing about radical change to the institution. It will really be a testament of that we will now be reaping the labor or the fruits of your labor, so to say. And so from us, I mean, it really brings comfort and joy that the students have been heard. But then, as I said, this is only a first step in a long road. I thank you.